activity the kids really liked was when I carved a jack-o'-lantern for them. And they had a lot of fun sticking their hands inside the pumpkin and feeling the seeds and the insides. And when I was all finished, I stuck a flickering light in there and just left it for the class for the rest of Halloween.
That's okay.
And how about we call the names up of people who are sitting really, really quiet and being their very, very best?
All right.
Okay. So look for people who are doing the very, very best.
So who wants to come put their hand in the pumpkin? Lexus, you can come with your hand in the pumpkin.
Wait, I do not.
And when you come up here, make sure you pull out some of the stuff, because that's what we need to do. We gotta get all this.
We
stuff
have to get all
out
that
of
stuff out.
I don't want to touch you.
Good.
Don't be afraid.
Scared?
Yeah. I know. I'm brave. I ain't.
Okay.
Let's give Alexis a try.
Alexis,
You know what
it's
I
okay.
do?
You can wash your hands right after you put your hand
It gets
in.
all messy, then you can go wash your hands.
It feels really cool.
Yeah.
It's not gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
Ishmael?
No, it's too much. It's too much.
Alright, when you grab some of these seeds like that in there.
Oh no, dude! Watch out! Watch out!
Cool.
It's nasty, yeah. Alright, make sure you go wash your hands.
So now the pumpkin is completed.
I see the light. I can see the light. I still can't. I can see your hand.
Oh no way!
I can see your hand in there.
Can you see my hand in there?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I can.
And I did it right. Alright.
The pull-out road.
Look at.
Let's just shut the light. Can we see the light? Yeah. Yeah, you can see it.
Oh, please.
I'd give them a presentation about Halloween and different cultures. I talked about how they celebrate in Ireland and Mexico, and how they celebrate Guy Fawkes Day in England. I would definitely say it was an understatement to say it was difficult to teach them about this stuff.
Okay, Alexis.
In Ireland is basically just where Halloween began. That's kind of what my friend talked about earlier. Now,
Progress, that's your square.
Halloween
Your
actually
stuff's
gets
there.
really interesting when we start talking about England. Because England, they don't actually celebrate Halloween. They celebrate a holiday called Guy Fawkes Day, which is this guy right here. This is actually what he looked like when he was alive. But he tried to blow up Parliament. And so that they treated him as a traitor. And now, ever since then, it was a Catholic plot. Because Halloween is, or in England, they're all Protestant. You know your religion. Or not. This guy right here? Or this? Well, on Guy Fawkes Day, they shoot off fireworks. Yeah. In The Simpsons? This guy? You saw him in The Simpsons? It's not like Homer. But yeah, that's just like how they do it in England. They don't celebrate Halloween so much. They celebrate this thing called Guy Fawkes Day. Now, talking about Mexico and other Spanish countries, they call their Halloween El Dia de los Muertos, which is the Days of the Dead.
Yeah, Progress, you need to keep your hands to yourself, please.
So, the Days of the Dead, a 3-day celebration that begins in the evening of October 31st and culminates November 2nd. This is an ancient festivity that has transformed throughout the years. It was originally intended in prehistoric Mexico to celebrate children and the dead. Mexican families remember their dead and continuity of life. It is a joyous and happy holiday. This is where, and they always have a theme of skulls, and where they visit the graves of their relatives, and paint other ceramic skulls. Yeah, and that's cool.
I like that one.
You like that?
But the Celts, they talked a little different than we did. instead of Sam Hine, they pronounce it So-In. But
Scary.
are you? Yeah.
When I see something scary on someone's door, I just back up
Oh, you do?
and I just hide somewhere. My sister was a giant.
Okay, boys and girls, please remember to raise your hands. Because he's trying to go through a presentation. And we can't keep going if they keep shouting. So please remember to raise your hands and be quiet. Okay, thank you. So now we can continue.
And you guys know when Halloween is? When's Halloween? It's on October 31st. So that's coming up. That's this month in October. And but the Celts believe that the good and bad spirits would come on October 31st. And so what they would do is
And then by showing the picture and slideshow to the kids to explain how trick-or-treating and why we dress up on Halloween, they keep like asking me about what's that mean, and then I just explain for them by focusing on the what I talk about. They just keep like looking in the picture and then keep asking me like why, what that picture about, and what is that.
You can tell.
A pumpkin pie.
From store?
No way.
I asked what you know about Halloween.
A pumpkin pie.
Okay, you can tell.
The 5-stage model group development was apparent during different times of our project. After forming our group, it took many tries during the storming stage to actually set times for meetings and to develop a plan of action for completing our project. And once we finally established these norms and set meeting times, we were finally able to perform the task, which was going to the elementary school and presenting the Halloween presentation. After finishing the paper and the video, then we were able to finally adjourn.
One of the issues that we had ran into with the kids in the classroom was keeping them motivated within our lessons and throughout the whole time we were there. We luckily had some help from teachers and volunteers within the classroom already, and we just emerged with their way of motivating them with positive and negative reinforcement. So during our activities, whether it was a pumpkin carving, coloring, or so on, the teacher would always ask us to choose the kids that were most quiet and adhering to our lessons. Through this, we were using positive reinforcement. Those who were quiet were rewarded by coming up and participating, and those that weren't listening and paying attention had negative reinforcement where they weren't able to participate through our lessons.
That way I had to use the combat filtering to filter what they would say back to me, to incorporate it, to use to the lesson.
Leadership is the ability to guide a group toward the achievement of a vision or set of goals.
in class we learned that personal bases of power, like referent power, are usually the most effective forms of power that we can use. But during our project, we encountered a situation with the kindergarten class that we ended up losing control over the class after a short period of time. Their attention spans are close to nothing. So we had to supplement referent power, which was their admiration for us, which gave us their attention initially. But we had to supplement that with coercive and reward power. We would reward them with candy, or allowing them to ask a question, or like put their hands in a pumpkin to fill the gooey insides. Or we would tell them that, hey, you might have to leave class, or the teacher would tell them that you have to be quiet or you're going to have to leave class and you can't continue to participate with coercive power. So through this project, we learned that power has different effects over different life stages. For a 5-year-old, they're more responsive to formal bases of power like coercive and reward than they are just with referent power, because that just won't hold. It just won't give us control over the class.